Stella was a very hard-working lady. Her and her friend decided to take a vacation to Jamaica. Stella and her friend decided that they would meet up in Jamaica, and that's what they did. Before got to Jamaica, her friend had met two guys. She was going to introduce Stella to Buddy. Stella was introduced to Buddy, and she didn't like him at all. He was like the aggravating type. So Stella went jogging that early morning, and then she went to breakfast. She saw this guy named Winston. She wanted him when she first saw him, but instead she played it cool. So he came over to this table and had breakfast with Stella. Stella told him her age and what she do and about herself, and he thought Stella was younger than what she was. Stella was like 43, and then Stella asked Winston his age. Winston was only half of what Stella was, which was 21. After that, Winston invited Stella to come to a pajama party. Stella acted as if she wasn't interested, but really deep down inside, she was, because she was falling in love with Winston. Stella then went to the pajama party that night, and she meets up with her friend, which her friend didn't know she was gonna be there, and the friend had Stella's other guy friend, Buddy. So Buddy start dancing, trying to get Stella's attention. So then he runs in front of Stella and takes off his shirt and just start dancing. That was very hilarious to me. After the pajama party, Stella's friend came over to her condo where they were staying, and they was talking, and Stella's friends were telling her how she had fell in love with that young guy, and Stella still denied it, but deep down inside she had fallen in love with Winston. After they left Jamaica, Stella and her friend, Stella didn't know that her friend was sick, but her friend just played it cool as if nothing was wrong with her. Stella went back to her hometown and went back to work, and come to find out she had been fired. So Stella was at home, and she never heard from Winston again. She tried to get in touch with him, but she never could. So finally one day she received a call, and her son's answer, and it was Winston saying that he misses her, and she was so happy to receive that phone call. So then her son asked, "Mom, can we go to Jamaica?" Stella had already said no before, but after Winston called, she was happy to return back to Jamaica. So then Stella, her son, and her niece went back to Jamaica to visit Winston. When they got there, they swam, went on other little family trips, and then Stella finds out that her friend has died. Well, her friend is sick. So Stella goes to visit her friend, and then after she leaves her friend after visiting, and they were just reminiscing on old times, Stella comes back to Jamaica with Winston and her son and niece. That's when she gets a phone call from a doctor saying that her friend has died. So then Stella, her son, and her niece goes back to Jamaica, leaves from Jamaica, and goes to her friend's hometown, and they go to the burial, and Winston surprises Stella, showing up at the funeral unannounced, and that really just brightened up her day. After the funeral, Winston and Stella and the two kids, her son and her niece, they goes back to Stella's hometown. Winston comes from Jamaica and go with Stella to stay with her for a little while, and they start a happy family. When they gets back, it's a party going on at her niece's mother's house, and her niece's mother wants them to get out and come join the fun. Stella's old husband's there, and him and Winston gets along as if Stella haven't been married to her son's dad before. I think that was very great. So after they communicate and have fun at the party, and she let him meet her family, Stella, Winston, and her son leaves to go to her house. After that, Stella and her son shows Winston around the house. And Stella had this room where she used to build tables and stuff. It was very junky, but Winston surprises her and fix it up and get her back to working that because she had been fired from her job. So Stella was saying that she would never have time to build anymore, but still she was in the process of starting back because he had to fix the room up and had it looking back nice. After that, Winston takes Stella to the movie, and her sister, the one that was expecting, she didn't like Winston because she thought he was too young and too childish. They went to see the movie Booty Call, and Stella just in there like this is not where I belong. But in the end, she got to like it, and she was very excited about the movie. Stella went to a like a seminar, and she didn't pay Winston any attention, and he felt bad. So that's when he really decided that he's gonna leave and go back to medical school. So after they leave from the seminar, Winston goes home and pack his stuff and let Stella know he's leaving to go back to medical school. Stella acts as if she's all right with it, but really she's not. So the limo comes and picks Winston up and takes him to the airport. Stella hugs him before he leaves and exchanges words or whatever they have to say. So by the time Winston could get to the airport, there's Stella running down the walkway stairs to meet him, asking him would he reconsider Stanford. Stanford is a school nearby her house so that they can be together. He had already asked Stella would she marry him, and she never gave him an answer. So when she meets him at the airport, she just holler yes, yes, and they run to meet each other, and he hugs her, and then the movie goes off.